Let's see. All right. We are live. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Hello, everybody on Twitter. Hello, everybody on this camera on Instagram. I am so excited because I have not done a live about my books in a really long time. For those who didn't already know, The Vow That Twisted Fate is a self published fantasy blog off participant this year, one of 300. It's affectionately called SPFBO. And I thought this would be a good time while the book has been marked down by Amazon to under $9 today in paperback form. And then the ebook is 99 cents wide, to read an excerpt of when the book gets good. And of course, what gets good means is if I was a reader and I was non biased, there's some exciting scenes. There's a centaur has a um, very unfortunate run in with a creature of darkness early in the book. There's phantasms that pull the main character into the past and give her mystical artifacts earlier in the book. There's a little bit of political intrigue set up earlier in the book, but the part where it gets good is from this part on, the story really starts hopping. And if I was reading it as a reader and not as its author, I think this, which is page 104 in the paperback that I'm going to read from today, is really where it gets exciting. So, trying to not be biased and just jump right in. I guess it's really 105, but I'm going to read live. If you're watching and you have comments, questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm excited to hear what you all think. So, let's dive right in. Whistling catches our attention. We look around, seeing nothing unusual. Finally, I look up and see a shimmering phantasm of Valera standing on my balcony. She smiles down at me and waves, motioning as if for me to come join her. Talon notices her as well and blinks a moment. He starts to say something, but I don't stay long enough to hear him. She might disappear before I get there. My heart pounds inside my chest as I run upstairs. I screech to a halt just inside my bedroom door. Valera's phantasm is still standing on the balcony, looking down at the people below. Her quiet, confident resolve tugs at something within me. I wish I was like her. I cross the room to stand by her side. Shuffling bootsteps come running down the hall behind me, but I can't take my eyes off Valera. Every time I blink, her image wavers, almost disappearing from view. She smiles at me, then looks back down at the people below. Everyone is preparing for the circle. Merchants display their finest wares, hoping to impress the visiting royals. Some women scrub out their family's best clothing in washtubs just for the occasion. A group of girls sits in a circle by the stables, watching the horses and braiding each other's hair. Boys watch the sparring warriors in awe on the other side of the market. Arlena? Talon asks from behind me in the doorway. His voice is unsteady, almost frightened. Do you remember the day you told me I shouldn't know the future? Valera asks me. Her voice is confident, but more tired than when I spoke to her earlier. I nod, unsure whether or not I should tell her our conversation was earlier this same day. Deep-set creases in her brow and tired, darkened eyes reveal this version of Valera to be much older. Her arms and hands, visible through slits in the flowing white sleeves of her dresses, are tattooed with bulky black symbols. The same symbols I saw floating around the ring the night she died, I realize. Motioning to the people below, she says, I had to see it for myself, at least once. I can't help but gasp at the finality and resolution in her voice. She turns to me with a gentle smile. All I do for you. She admits with a tired smile. I have fought with all I have to give. My people have given even more than I. They are free at last, and this will probably be the last time I speak to you. Why, I ask. Why do so much for somebody you don't even know? She reaches out her hand as though to touch my face, but her shimmering fingers pass right through me. Everything I do to give our people a life with no fear, she says. A life where a young queen like yourself will never need to experience war. This phantasm is not the one who gave me the knife, I realize. Her expression is resolved, but doesn't show the terror on her or desperation of the woman I saw the first night. Maverick, I say slowly, suddenly painfully aware of Talon and his warriors gawking at us from the doorway. He is the reason you're so confident, isn't it? Isn't he? She shakes her head, but chuckles at my words. I wish it were so, she sighs. However, it is my confidence in my own resolve that gives me strength. Never ask a friend to do what you would not first do yourself. Her words puzzle me. Call them, the future Valera had begged me. Call them to finish what they began. Were those words spoken as a final frantic attempt to stop Madra from seizing the earth? Perhaps an attempt to call the company out of that place? Farewell, Arlena, Queen of Hope, the current phantasm says. Wait, I say, reaching out to grab her arm. I catch nothing but air. What did it mean, the phrase you used when Maverick made his vows to you? Paravlista forming Climon. Pledge with the blade and the blood, she says, barely audible. Para Torgrin Vera Niran. Pledge to come when called. The blade in my boot grows hot against my skin. Scrambling, I pull it out to find the blade glowing red. I hear gasps and talking in the doorway behind me, but I can't look away from the blade. The wish with which Valera sealed her vow is burning into my brain, repeating itself over and over again. The foreign tongue of the fairies becomes clearer each time I hear it, until I can't discern which language is mine and which is the foreign one. My mind is floaty, as if I'm sleepwalking, even though I know I'm awake. Valera is standing before me again. She's not a phantasm this time, though. She's every bit as real as I am. I blink. She shimmers before me, but then becomes solid again. Is she really here? I wonder. Am I losing my mind? Really here or not, her eyes light up at the sight of the dagger. Reaching out her hand, her fingers brush the metal. A gust of air whips at us. Valera's phantom form sweeps across me and vanishes, leaving me gasping for air as though I'm emerging from underwater. Power and confidence pulse within me. The timid fearfulness that's haunted me since the first vision is gone, but my mind is still hazy. Turning to face the woods again, I flip the blade over and over. My body moves slowly, mindlessly on its own. Talon runs to my side, looking around frantically. Below me in the market, people are staring up, pointing at the swirling clouds in the sky. Clutching the dagger, I let the hilt fall to the ground by my side. Maverick and Valera's voices float through the air around me in whispers. My heart races in my chest. The world dims around me. Raising my free hand out in front of me, I hold the dagger up beside it. Talon is talking to me. I recognize his voice through the haze of my mind, but I can't focus on him. Call them, Valera's voice urges me. Call them before it's too late. A need to see the keeps select, the dwarven company, with my own eyes, grows more and more urgent within me. I need their help. They're the only ones who know firsthand what we're facing, the only ones I can trust. Paravlista Forman Climon, my voice echoes in my ears. Wind whips my skirt around my legs. Dark, swirling clouds gather overhead. My heart races, adrenaline flowing through me. Holding my head high, I feel a strange boldness flow through me. Talon is shouting at me now, something incomprehensible. When I turn my gaze on him, he flinches, cowering back. The blade is so sharp, it only takes the slightest pressure against my palm to draw blood. Talon grabs my wrist, but an unknown force of energy throws him to the ground. Above us, the eyes in the pentagram glow red. I hold the blade over my head, pointing it up so my blood can trickle down to the handle. The cut burns in my palm. Clenching my fist, I lower my dripping hand to hang by my side. Para Torgrin Vera Niran, I command. Wind shoots down from the sky in a tunnel around me, cutting me off from Talon. Somehow, I stand strong, unwavering in the midst of it. Lightning strikes several places around me. The pentagram above us cracks like a sheet of glass. Streaks of light pour down through the cracks. The purple hue warps, arcing down in the center toward the earth, as though weighed down by an enormous sphere. For a moment, everything is still. Even the wind, in perfect silence. The sphere hangs suspended over the woods, miles away from us. Behind me, Talon props himself up on one elbow, staring up at the sphere. A creaking, crackling sound surrounds us. It spreads and grows like ice shattering across a frozen lake. With a sudden, ear-splitting roar, the purple hue rips, plummeting to the ground. The impact shakes the earth. Trees closest to the sphere are uprooted. People tumble to the ground in the market. I alone remain standing, the gust merely ruffling my dress and hair. The entire castle clatters before stilling again. Looking up, I see only a stark purple outline of the pentagram, and the eye-shaped constellations within it are left in the sky. The purple hue is gone. Below me in the market, my people pick themselves up and survey the damage the wind left on their homes and the market stalls. Arla! Talon uses my nickname for the first time in front of others, wrapping his arms around me in a tight embrace. Are you all right? I'm fine, I say, looking down at the blood in my palm, besides my hand. Looking out over the quiet woods and the hanging gray clouds, I'm unsure whether I'm truly fine or not. Actually, I don't feel like myself, I realize. My mind still a little foggy. A strange sense of calm and resolve remains, though, despite the unusual events. Talon takes my hand, staring down at the blood still trickling down my fingers. Laying his fingers against the palm of my hand. He whispers something in Elvish. The wound burns for a moment, puckering up and drawing together, then seals and vanishes. Talon! I exclaim, but he puts a finger over my mouth. Elves can use magic? Not here, he whispers. This isn't the time or place to talk. His face is tired, but his smile is genuine. King Thalen and Queen Rhea hurry into the room, where several of Talon's warriors are still standing, dumbfounded. Collect yourselves at once, King Thalen orders. The warriors quickly stand at attention. Talon joins them. A dark spirit walks in the forest, the king tells them. Queen Sworn, take 5 men to scout. Do not engage what you find. Report back to us. Talon bows obediently. Pointing to five of the warriors, he hurries from the room. After he leaves, I notice the queen watching me from across the room. Her face, usually so expressive, is blank. The circle must go on as planned, Thalen says, once he and Queen Rhea are the only ones left in the room with me. The words surprise me. Canceling the circle meeting hasn't crossed my mind. Of course, I agree emphatically. If evil just fell from the sky, we have even more of a reason to have a circle meeting, correct? The queen tilts her head, resting a finger against her lips. The king turns to her as though questioning her input. Think about this from their perspective, I remind myself. I have to get them to respect me, or they'll always treat me like a child. I realize with a start that I'm standing with my arms crossed, my hands resting in the crooks of my elbows. I've never stood like this before. I ponder for a moment. I shake off my discomfort, trying to wrap my head around the conversation at hand. I do not expect our Elvenkin, or other long-living races, to see value in protecting humans. The words leave my mouth on their own, before I can decide what to say. Everything I do so that my people can continue to live a life without fear. The king's face goes very pale. The queen's mouth gapes. The reason for their shock is beyond me, but their reaction to my statement emboldens me to continue. I've heard those words before. Didn't Valera tell me that exact thing this morning? I'm sure a life of peace holds even more value for your people than ours, I continue. It is a life bought at a high and unexpected price, a price no one should have to pay again. Don't you agree? Queen Rhea sinks down on the stool by my vanity, crossing her hands on her lap. She looks up at Thalen, but he isn't looking at her. Instead, his eyes are fixed on me. Fixed on me, and yet not on me. It's as if he's looking at someone else. And that's where I'm going to stop, because the rest will get into a little bit of spoiler territory. But yeah, so that is where the story really starts ramping up in the Vow That Twisted Fate. The whole book, like I said, is available wide now, so on Apple Books, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, as well as Amazon, where it's all 99 cents. And then the paperbacks are on sale as well. And I've not announced this anywhere, so you guys will be the first to hear about it, except for one or two other panels I've done for SPFBO on YouTube. But I'm actually getting a revised cover for Vow. So this is the first edition cover. It's 340-ish pages long. And right now, Amazon's got it marked down. That had nothing to do with me, for under $9. But I will be pulling that version down when the new cover and the revised collector's edition comes out in the next couple months. So if you want a original first edition copy, you can grab it there. And if you're in the US, I did find a box. I have like 4 left that I can ship out, first come, first serve. So message me on social media if you would like one of those. But yes, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the snippet, and I will catch you guys later. Bye, everybody.